There's a lot to see at Kasisi, and you can't manage.
As we're wrapping up our visit at Kasisi Farm, which was the first stop on this year's SNRD Africa Conference field trip day, we're heading towards the next destination, which takes us a little further out to another place. It's called Loctaguna Organics, just outside Lusaka. Loctaguna is known for putting agroecology into practice, combining organic vegetable production, agroforestry, and recycling systems that feed back into the soil. And it's also a place where people come to learn, working on the farm, gaining experience, and earning an income through hands-on training in sustainable production. Demand for the produce has grown so much that they can hardly keep up, even supplying fresh food to international airlines that fly out of Lusaka, we're told. So here we're welcomed by Patson Nkube, one of the key people at Loctaguna Organics, who guides us through the farm and shares how the organic practices can rebuild soil health where conventional methods have left the ground exhausted. So enjoy the rest of the video. It's all about giving you a look and feel and touch of the field trip. That's not a promo video.
So I came here just to see my family. I was going back, and then I was like, what's going on with the organic? Is there anything? And then I met a Dutch lady. She runs a shop in Lusaka, under Mickey. She has an organic shop, which was very close to where I used to live. That's how I met. And she talked about, oh yeah, there's some farmers, there are not so many, they're trying something. So there was they had a meeting. I kind of went to just join and see. It's kind of like certified by this kind of group that we do. So far we have 8 farmers. So there's Leo. Leo is just around the corner, South African white dude. He's, what does he do? Mostly herbs. So at times when I don't have stuff, I call Leon those herbs. Because Steven is also not far from us. He does strawberries. So if you're eating strawberries that are from Zambia, in Lusaka, not from South Africa, they're from Steven. He's doing them. And cherry tomatoes. He's got like nice varieties of different cherry tomatoes. People have things like that. So you find this very common. And for us, this field is different. What happened with this field was like, this field was suffering from compaction. Every time our plants would grow, they would just grow. They grow, and somehow did not know what the hell was going on until it rained. That was when I came. Then I observed him, and I noticed that the water was not setting. Water loving. Yeah. So the other fields will be fine, and this field, some of the water sit. So then it discovers that compaction. So there's compaction down somewhere. So we're gonna break it up, the compaction. That's some soil amendments, mostly kind of like vermicompost, get the microbes to come in to help. And then we did lots of broadcasting seeds, so random seeds here. Then of course we planted already some bananas before in this field. And they're like, yeah, which are still here. Because now we just want to have a cover, 1 to create biomass, and then 2 for the roots to break soil and break compaction. So they break the compaction, so we have aeration and water, all those things kind of like start working. So we've left it to rest for a year. I call them matopos. I'm from Zimbabwe. So this is matopos. She's resting right now. The cool thing is, like, I come here and observe. This is rain fed, not drip. Then you start to see interesting things of like, who's surviving? Why are they surviving without water? Right? It's something that farmers should start being observant. Who's surviving? Why are they surviving? Right? What do they do? And who are they? And interesting, I've got these cherry tomatoes. I don't know how they got there. They're growing. by themselves. No water. And then it's like we put a bean, a creeper, no water again. So I come here and I just observe little things, write down in my notes on what I see. A lot of things I'm also learning. I don't know everything, but I keep on kind of learning. And so this place is so diverse. There's everything. You know, you see you've got marigolds, you name it, amaranthus, bondware. It's feeding with all sorts of stuff. If you enter inside, there's pumpkins. I think I found a pumpkin inside somewhere, right? So we let it rest. Can't wait for the rains to come, and then we're gonna break it again, and then we're gonna stop because the microbes will be in there with all this biomass. Is what's gonna do. We're gonna break down all these guys down so they touch the floor. When they touch the floor, the moment the rain comes, touches them, it's a party.
The compaction was at the surface or deeper? Somewhat deeper. And the roots are capable of breaking it, or did you have to do something else for breaking it?
No, we just dug. That's the only thing that we did.
Okay.
So we dug and we put. So what we do also is like, you know, because we don't use any, what do you call it, machines. So we dig in by ourselves. So it's like digging furrows. So what we did was first dug in the furrows and then we put organic matter at the bottom. So like sticks, leaves, grass, manure, right? Then the compost cover, right? So you let it start breaking from down there. And then after a while, and then when the rains came, we planted. And now this is what you have. So there's some stuff breaking down there. And they're like, so this is how we are trying to break it. I think it's going to work. Yeah. So Matopos. Next one. Friends, the drought of the kid in Zimbabwe. I remember that drought. My school, literally the dam disappeared. You know, when you're a kid and you see lots of water, like lots of water, and then one day that water disappears. It's really like, how is that possible that all that water disappeared? And that time our parents were talking of drought. We are kids, you're like, what are you talking about? It's a drought. Just the water disappeared, and we ate lots of catfish. So we made that conscious decision to cut the farm in half. So this side, we removed the drips, and then we're like, we're gonna focus on this side because water shortage. Actually, we didn't have a water shortage. It wasn't raining. The problem that we had was with Zesco. You know Zesco? Zesco is like the electricity supply company. So, because we had electricity rationing, so at times we get electricity in the morning, 2 hours, kaput. And then you can get maybe electricity in the evening. At times. But that was happening. So, then for us, because we got solar, so we had to invest in solar, which can like help, but then you don't get the same kind of power. And so for that reason, we took this out, and then we try to focus on this side. So because this is also resting, we decided to convert into a synthropics farming system. Do you know synthropics? Synthropics is a Swiss guy, what's his name, Ernest, who went to South America and observing the forest. You know, he was like, why can't we mimic? Why can't we copy just the way the forest grows and we grow our food that way? That's what synthropics is. So he's come up with a system, some people call it agroforestry, something. But, you know, if you're hardcore, the OG, synthropics, you know, that's what we say. So synthropics, basically, there's different rules. So you have like 3 lines every 3 meters. So this is a tree line. This one is good moringa, that one is good mulberry, that one is good bananas. But we were learning. So we were learning universities of YouTube. So we've made our mistakes because again, you start learning from other people, showing you the system, how actually you can make it more, it can survive or work better. We're gonna redo this again because I think we can do much better. So it's every 3 meters, you have a tree line, and in between your tree lines, you can plant your crops here. So basically, that's what synthropics is. And then what you're doing is like you're trying to grow lots of biomass that you use for the soil, because we have a problem of biomass. We don't have a lot of biomass. In Europe, they're very lucky. Biomass grows like it's always raining. It's always wet. These guys, the soils are like good because they have all that biomass that keeps breaking. For us, when it gets dry, so when it rained, we went outside and we just cut all the grass. I swear, we went crazy. Right, so that we know to cover, because we know the dry season is coming. So for us, we're cool. We know that this is kind of protecting the microbes for that moment, instead of leaving it exposed and the like here. So when you come maybe next year, this will be a forest, a mini forest. So it's synthropics. The first 2 years, I think 2 or 3 years, they say you have to feed it with water, like drip and all the stuff. Then they say after 3 years it's supposed to live on its own. That is when you've achieved your whole objective of synthropics. So you want our plants to just grow like the natural trees, right? Cool. Any questions?
And then you have got different types of plants you are planting below, which need semi-shadow or full shadow, or how is it meant?
So
you have got different levels of trees.
So with synthropics, you select your tall canopy trees. So let's say you know what trees you want that are going to be your tallest, and then your medium, your bushes, and so everything is in succession, right? As a grow, because they're your hardwood. Usually, some that take a long time, some that don't take a long time, like moringa and all stuff that you can chop and drop, because that's for biomass. We have a synthropics group on WhatsApp. All these people from all over the world talking about synthropics, all sorts of stuff. My problem about it is I think it can work-ish, but we have to rig it. Right, so this is our ATM system. Because first we're doing it for market. So this is kind of like in the beginning. So we've done this ATM on this side. So the ATM and the egg system that you can like see. So this is just in the beginning. So for our market, lettuce is huge, right? Massive. For suppliers, they think every 2 days they're buying like maybe 60 heads of lettuce. So we have to plant. So once they grow and they come out, so for us, it's like we don't uproot. When it grows, we don't cut it, right? And leave the roots in there. They're gonna die by themselves when we plant next door. So those roots that are dying there are providing food for the next generation. Never uproot. Never uproot. When you uproot, you're taking away the microbes. Their home, you're killing their home. Alright? You're disturbing them. This is why they say no till, because you don't want to disturb these guys. You know, they're doing all sorts of stuff underneath them. So it's like minimum tillage, right? And they're like, so you also understand the reason why you have, who remembers?
Why you have what?
I haven't been there.
Root, leafy, what is that? Diacots, monocots?
You're going too deep.
Okay, so what is this? Is it similar to maize, right? If you took the seeds,
Okay, monocots, yeah.
Is it going to have 2 or 1 cordulans?
1.
Huh?
1.
1. Right? And then their root structure, they're very different. Their root structure are like this, like maize, right? Like that. Then the other guys, right, what diacots, there are two, right? These ones, their roots are more like taproot. So again, compaction. What are they doing? They're breaking the compaction. They're creating aeration. So everyone, so you got these roots which are going stepping, and the other ones are going at the sides. Then you create all this conducive environment for your microbes. And then also, we just realized that actually roots can talk to each other. The recent study, they realized that it's called the wood wide web, right? So they've realized they can start, they're talking to each other. They're exchanging different things, just as we exchange things. What's going on down there? It's all trade. The microbes are exchanging. They're like drug dealers. You know, do you want this? Do you want that? Yeah, yeah, I've got this, you got that. Yeah, yeah. That's the same thing going on down there. It's the same society just as us. What you need, they also need. You need fresh air, they want fresh air. You want water, they want water. You want good food, you want good food. If you give them bad food, what's going to happen?
Bad crops.
You're not going to cry. If you give yourself bad food, I'm sorry, you're going to be sick. Before you know it, you need an operation or whatever it is. Same thing with plants. You want to start thinking of plants as you, like people. They are like just, and then everything's cool. We don't have disease. We don't have pests. Why?
Because we eat good food and we sleep good well.
Yeah, we eat good food. To assess, because when they had that, we're looking for the farms that were doing natural farming. So far, it's Kasisi and us were doing natural farming. So they came to assess, and the challenge about natural farming is seed. You need a lot of seeds. Like, believe you me, just 1 liter, you'd be shocked how many seeds you have to use within that small space. So for us, we're like, well, if farmers are collecting seeds, that's not a problem. But if you're not collecting seeds, so I say to people, you need a nice watermelon, my brother, don't swallow the seeds, put them in your pocket. So if you eat a nice pumpkin, that is an indication that that's a good seed. Keep that seed. Plant it. You'll be surprised. Now there you are, you have your variety. So for us, we try to encourage seeds. So we let certain things to sprout until they seed. So right now we started our own lettuce. Then I've been on the University of YouTube, as usual. I've been learning some techniques of how to crossbreed. That's really cool stuff. Until I was like, whoa, really? Yeah, you can do really cool stuff. You know, just, it's crazy when you see them doing it. You know, like, you're like, oh, with the little scissors, and you have to go around and cut those and tomatoes. I'm like, just to get some seed, right? But people to put on the web, and people don't know about it. Over here at the back, this is where we do our composting. One section of our composting. So all that's like, you know, thorny stuff, all those thorns there, we're gonna burn them. We're gonna control the, we're gonna make biochar. Do you know what biochar is, guys? Biochar. Biochar is like what? Charcoal.
Chocolate.
Right? Why do you want biochar? Biochar is fantastic for the soil. Charcoal. What we do with our charcoal, we inoculate it. So we make comfrey tea over there for like 1 week, and then we put the charcoal, and then the comfrey, all the nutrients enter into the little pockets, and then we add those now into the field, with our worm or worm tea, adding the microbes. Now the microbes can go inside the little pockets because they'll become nice homes for them. Biochar is going to help in your aeration, also water retention, because a coal kind of holds water. So that's another way of us how we survived even in the drought. It's like we literally went and got lots of biochar that we spread all over the field, our gardens, to save us with water, save with water. So here, when we make our compost, so with our old compost, that one is 3 years old. That's finished now. It used to be huge, right? And then we've applied all of that into our field, right? I go and take a sample, I look at the microscope, we have the nice organisms that we need, microbes. Good, go ahead, we apply. Now we start a new one. So this has got horse manure, pig, everything in here. You want your compost to be diverse. So even the leaves, any organic matter, not just one, like, oh, you're taking only leaves from it. No. Bring everyone to the party. You're making one big, nice, juicy cake, right? And then now you need to understand how to cook it, right? Because there's a procedure now, how to cook it. Temperature, very important when you get it thermophilic, because there's certain germs that can exist when it's thermophilic or mesophilic. Meso meaning like anything that is less than, how many was this? These are bacteria that can exist in low temperatures, and thermophilic can exist after 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. That is where we want to get it, right? So when it gets that hot, it's burning. First, it kills the seeds. Goats eat lots of stuff, so you want to kill the seeds, and then two, also you kill also the bad bacteria, right? But you don't want it to stay too hot for too long. You have to turn it for several times, and then you have faster compost. In some people, you can make compost in 18 days. If you understand the concept and also the ratio, right? Many times when we made compost, it was a piece of pile that we just put leaves. What did you put, my sister? Grass, sand,
organic
and then
manure.
And then you left it.
No.
People didn't water it.
You let it.
That's how I learned how to make compost when I was a kid. It was just like you piled up dry stuff, any rubbish, and then you left it like that. And somehow, I don't know why, we put 4 sticks at there, and you walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was dry the whole year. Nothing happened. At that time, people didn't understand the science. Now we do understand it. 18 days, you can get it. Cool. Mm-hmm. I like this plant because it's very versatile, and I think people should have it in their yards. Cool thing about chayote, you peel it, you can eat it fresh, you can fry it. Strangely, it tastes like French fries.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very strange. It tastes like a cucumber. I don't know what do you call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just chayote, But I had a nice sauce the other day with it, and they're like very easy to grow. You just put it on the ground. We usually put them next to trees. They grow very fast. And then the cool thing is that give them to the pigs. They love it. Mm-hmm. Extra food, snack. So we can go and give them some snacks this afternoon. Okay. But then now you have a lot of smuggling. Like people now smuggle seeds. And so you see the roots there. They start very small, like little balls, right? They're very tiny, like these ones. See, look at this. Look how they start. Within a week, they're like this. Very, very fast. If we feed it with manure and water, very simple. Grow very fast. Chickens love it. So you can dry it or give them fresh. So that's another way of supplying, adding supplement to your chicken. Azolla, very, very famous. Very expensive.
Expensive? Yeah.
Yeah, you sell it. Oh, and then Bara should even say the price. So it is 500 kwacha a kilo.
You don't give that on children for nutrition? children?
Chickens.
Chickens.
Do you give it to children? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. You plant vertela. It is something last period. Right,
No, Azolla is really cool. It grows very, very fast. This is awesome. So we used to have them here, and then of course we have to change our pools, create new ones. And they're like, I don't know whether we're gonna have some fish. There's my team want some fish, so I have to plan about that. And then at the back here we've got our free-range chicken. For the chickens layers, we've got 50 of them. So our eggs come from these girls. There's some guy, we have to take him away before sleep with his children. What is it? It looks different from everyone. Huh? Yeah, you can check them out. Yeah. They're all like
Maybe you want to close the door?
Yeah, there was one last week. Yeah, you can. She's very friendly. No, don't worry.
Susan's friendly.
So if she's not producing, why are you keeping her for me? So just
No.
because you like.
We like her. She's part of us. Asking for coffee, and they give me this, and I feed my worms. So this is a worm bin. Let's see, little worms. Need to put some more shit. So there we are. So this worm bin, I fed it last week with fresh manure. So usually I'll harvest one side and feed. So what happens is, so like right now, if I had to feed it, I'm gonna come and feed this side, right? It's gonna come here, and then I move it again. This side, they move. So you can move them when you want to. This is inspired by the Johnson Ncube bioreactor. Like Johnson Ncube is a microbiologist with his wife, Japanese wife. They're into like soil health and all this stuff. They're like top end of the game, and they came up with this bioreactor. It's a certain formula that you use to make your compost. Then after a couple of days, you add in your worms, and then you leave it to do its job. But you have to keep it moist every time for more than a year. So this we did this in December. It was full, as you can see now. How far it's gone. The cool thing about this is just like wine, the longer, the better. So it would mean like I could just take a small bit like that, put in a bucket, I can water my garden. That's how much power.
Nutrients.
The power of small. I love this guys. Then that's it. That's the science. Class is over.
Class dismissed.
Yeah, that's it.